Okay, I am back to show you the next step in doing this mosaic flower pot. A recap, last time we just laid the glass on the pot using the thin set mortar, and this has been drying for over 24 hours. I actually threw away the pot I started because I hated it, and that was wasteful. But anyway, this is what I came up with. I'm not super happy with it, but once the grout is on it, you'll see it'll look a lot better. So that is what I did. It ended up being a bigger pot too, which used a lot more glass, and I wasn't really prepared going into it. But anyway, I clear my throat a lot, I realized after videotaping myself. Okay, so what you're gonna need for grouting is these items. You're gonna need some sanded grout. I'm using charcoal because it makes a bigger contrast, and that's what I like. But you can use, they have all different shades, colors, whatever, and you can actually tint your own grout. If you get white, you can add acrylic paint in when you're mixing it with water, and make any color you want. So you need sanded grout. Make sure you get sanded because it's going to fit, you know, the smaller joints. You're gonna need some paper towels. I love my environment and I hate using paper towels, but it's really a necessity for this. You're gonna need a container for your grout. A bucket is preferred, or you could use this like me. And the good thing with plastic is that once the grout is dry, the stuff you're done with, you can just pop it out real easily. You're gonna need some water, go blues, a spoon or something to stir it with that can be thrown in the trash. You're gonna need toothpicks and a mask and gloves. Okay, let's get started. Okay, my voice might sound a little weird because I've got a mask on. I wear a mask while I'm pouring the grout in because it's real dusty, and apparently you shouldn't breathe this because you don't want to get it trapped in your lungs and stuff. I can't tell you how much grout I put in. It's probably a couple cups or maybe a cup and a half. It's gonna vary depending on how big the pot is, how much you're gonna need. You can always make more, but it's wasteful. So I tend to make maybe, I don't know, I just guess. But I can always make more if I need more, but I hate wasting it. So anyway, you just pour in a little water at a time. You could use your spoon, but I am going to just use my hand. Give me 1 second. I'm going to set this up different. Okay, that was fun. All right. You can see I'm not a professional at this. Okay. So I'm going to throw in a little more water. I'm going to mix this. I hope you can see it. To a consistency that's like brownie batter, but don't go overboard with the water. A little at a time, because you can't take water out, but you can put water in. I'm almost there. Also, I probably should have covered my workspace, but this stuff cleans up pretty easy. I'm not worried about it. As long as you clean it up before it dries. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this consistency. It's pretty thick, but not too thick. Now, if you're working outside and it's a hot day, it's going to dry out faster, so just add little bits of water as you need it. Spilled dried Dang it! I spilled dried grout all over my pants. Okay. Then you are going to take your grout and you are going to spread it on here, pressing it into the cracks as you go. I am using a gloved hand, but if you're not ultra careful, it's going to rip the gloves and you're going to have holes in your gloves and you're going to get it on your hands. So just be aware of that. I've cut myself so many times doing this, it's not even funny. So be very careful because this stained glass is very, very, very sharp on the edges. So I'm just going all the way around. This can take a little bit of patience. It doesn't dry too fast unless you're outside, so you don't have to work too quickly. I'm just working quickly so I can show you. Okay, so this is where I would probably want to take my gloves off to show you. But for safety reasons, I shouldn't. Anyway, I'm just going to press this grout up on these edges and then carefully smooth it. And then we'll work more on that in just a little bit. So just be careful on these edges. You want to make sure everything is covered. Okay, so I'm going to pause it and finish this up and show you what it will look like. That's if I can get to my phone. Okay, I've got this is pretty good. It is all covered and I wiped off some of the excess. You can see it's still really, really wet. Now I'm going to kind of tidy up these edges really, really gently. I probably still should have my glove on, but wear your gloves and don't do what I'm doing. And then I am just going to let this sit. I have had Mosaics take a matter of just a couple minutes to dry, to like half hour or longer. It depends on the humidity, obviously. And today is a dreary, humid day, so this might take a little while. Now you want it to dry, but not fully dry. You want it'll get a little lighter, and yeah, I'll show you what that looks like. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my workspace because I made a complete mess all over the floor because I'm not used to doing this inside. Okay, I'll be back. One more thing I forgot to mention. Do not get rid of your grout. Don't toss that out. Leave it because if you make a mistake while you're wiping the grout off and you bust off a chunk, you can fix it up with whatever you have left over. Okie doke. It looks like it's about ready. So I can kind of tell because you can hear it kind of crumbling off. Some of it's a little wet still. But I'm going to go ahead and set this down here and show you what's up. And I'm really sorry about my messy messy art room. I'm actually really a neat freak and kind of controlling when it comes to that stuff. Except for in this room. It's a disaster. Okay, so a lot of people would say, get a sponge and wipe it down with a sponge. I actually don't like doing that. I like wiping it just with a paper towel because when you have a wet sponge, it just kind of smears it. So then you have to end up going back through and wiping it down with a paper towel anyway. So I'm going to be kind of careful on these ends here, or the edges, I mean. So yeah, this is basically what you do. You can see that it's not perfectly dry. I'll probably have to come back through and wipe down the mirrored pieces again. But this is it. This is my favorite part. The unveiling. This can kind of take a while, and be very careful again on these edges. So I'm going to show you what I do real quick. Usually I'd wait till it's all wiped down, but I come back through with my whatever this toothpick, and I kind of will straighten out so these aren't like lumpy, and then I'll probably run it through here since there's an edge here, and then also on the bottom, and just be very, very careful because that's the part where chunks can get broken off, and if that happens, just grab some more of your grout and with your finger just kind of smash it in there and tidy that back up. So this is what you do. Oh, and I remembered in my first video, this is kind of for all my St. Louis friends, but anybody else watching, the other glass store I was talking about, I couldn't think of the name. It's called the Glass Galleria, and it is in South City. And they sell glass by the pound too. And they have classes and glass cutters, and they're friendly. I haven't been in there in probably a year or two, but I think it's still there. So just keep going around. This is definitely the messiest part of the process. So but as you can see, the colors start to really pop. I'm not real happy with what I chose to do, but I'm running low on my reds, and I have another project I need my reds for, so I stuck with blues, greens, and threw in some pink and yellow, but I kind of, honestly, I did a kind of a sloppy job. I would never feel comfortable selling this one because I was in a hurry because I'm trying to get it finished by this week for the teacher's gift. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this up, I guess, and I will be right back with my final directions. Okay, so I am about finished. Kind of been running over it, making sure that all the grout is scraped off all the glass. Sorry, hold on. Okay, and I think it looks pretty good. I had to take my toothpick and go around, especially some of these mirrored pieces because they're a different thickness. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it'll look good once the plants are in. Yeah, so there it is. Now what you're gonna do is set it aside for, it's supposed to be 3 days to cure, and then you are going to use some sealant. This is what I've been using, and you're just gonna take like a spongy brush, brush it on the whole thing. You'll see that it soaks in, and then you want to come back through pretty quickly, read the directions. I come through pretty quickly and start wiping it off of, especially the mirrored ones. They'll get filmy if you don't If you don't, wipe it off quickly, and then once that's done, then you're done. Make sure you spray the inside to seal it, just in case. I just bought some sort of aerosol whatever from the hardware store. And there you go. I think that is it. Message me if you have any questions. I think that's it. Okay, good luck.